What is up, everybody? I'm making this video today because I want to start making videos. I've wanted for a long time to start making videos about games that I really enjoy and want to share with other people, and this game definitely falls. It fits the criteria there. It's a game that I've loved for a long time, and I definitely want to let everyone I can know about it and get as many people playing it as possible because it's really cool and I want to see the community grow. So yeah, hopefully we'll have more videos like this in the future, but this is going to be the first one. I'm just showing off games that I recommend highly, and this is one of them. It's called Crypt the Necrodancer. It's a turn-based roguelike, kind of an old-school-ish roguelike almost, but it's got the twist that it's like driven by the pace of the music. Like, you don't get to sit around and think out your next turn, ponder what's going to happen next. Every time there's a beat, you can see in the top right corner, there's a heart pulsating. It pulsates with the beat of the music. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it pulsates with the beat of the music. That's one turn. So if there were an enemy in here, I'll go ahead and show you.
Hey.
I'll go ahead and show you a simple enemy here. There's a practice room for fighting everything. You can see the skeleton. So every time there's one beat in the song, that's one turn. You have to go. You can't sit there and think about what you're doing. It's fucking go time, like, twice a second. Or the BPM actually increases in every song as you go through the game. So, you just... it keeps you moving. It keeps you moving. You don't have to sit around and think about what you're doing. You have to just know instinctively. You have to be able to make decisions very, very quickly. Obviously, it's easy here because there's only one enemy, but it's just an example in the practice room. It definitely gets to be a lot more than this. You can pick, actually, different soundtracks for the game as well. You can even use your own music. You can plug your own custom music into the game, and it'll detect the beat of that, or you can tap out the beat for yourself if you want it to follow a slightly different beat or something. But yeah, you can choose from 3 different soundtracks by Danny Baranowski, A Rival, and Family Jewels 7X. They're all fantastic. Or if you're really just not into that, or if you want to listen to your own tunes or whatever, you can plug your own music into the game, and that works too, which is really cool. And for anyone not super familiar with what roguelike really entails, it basically means that the game is procedurally generated, like the floor layouts are all random and such. I'll just go ahead and jump into it, I guess, and give you a little taste of it. I don't know, like, I've played this game a ton, and I don't know what's coming up next. I didn't know that item would be there. I don't know where these rooms are going to take me or where the next floor starts or whatever, because it's all random. It's new every time you start a new game. That's the basic gist of it. It throws down random enemies all over the place. You don't know what the hell is coming next, which makes the game very replayable. There are also different zones to the game. This is Zone 1, where you start out. But there are 4 unique zones, each of them with their own like special properties and hazards and enemies to deal with and everything. Each zone has 3 levels to it, and then a boss after those 3 levels. And the bosses even are chosen randomly. You're not necessarily going to get the same boss every time you do Zone 1. You could get Death Metal once. Yes, Death Metal is the actual name of the boss in this game. Or you could get Deep Blues, or whatever. They've all got these ridiculous musical pun names, and I fucking love it. But yeah, it's all kinds of different shit that can happen. You don't know what's gonna come on. And this is the mini-boss for the floor. You might have just seen it say, exit stairs unlocked. There will always be a mini-boss guarding the staircase at the end of the floor. So you've got to kill that before the stairs will unlock and allow you into the next area. There are also several different characters, like 10 characters, I think, for the game. My bomb, that was me dropping a bomb, and it exploded instantly because I'm wearing the blast helm. For anyone confused by that right there. That's what went down. Okay. So there are like 10 different characters, all very unique. This character is sort of the default. It's the one you're probably going to learn the game on, the one you might end up playing the most. But there are other characters that are interesting for challenge runs, or just playing a little bit differently, or whatever. They've all got very unique properties to them, like one of them damages enemies just by running by them, but can't attack directly while standing next to them. Cool stuff like that. Really, really interesting mechanics. There are also a ton of achievements if you're into that kind of thing. If you're an achievement hunter, you'll definitely have plenty to hunt plenty of prey. There are... If you see in the top right my coins, how much money I have, that counts as your score in-game. And there are global leaderboards for this. You can just compare yourself to everyone else playing, or, I mean, I guess you could ignore them. Okay, the Crown of Thorns there damages you when you pick it up, and then heals you oh god, every few kills you get. So it's a little trade-off there. The trade-off is pretty minor when you pick it up, honestly, only taking half a heart of damage, so it's a very good item. I'm glad I've got it here. As I was saying, though, there are leaderboards for score runs and speed runs. You can see in the bottom left, I've got a speed run timer, and each character has its own set of leaderboards for score runs and speed runs, and also deathless streaks. If you're not really into going for high score, you don't want to collect every little coin on the ground, and you don't really want to go for speed runs, or that's not your thing, you can go for deathless streaks and see how many times you can complete a run, how many runs you can win in a row without dying. So that's cool too. You can see how you compare against that. I mean, you don't have to be going for the world record or whatever to enjoy the leaderboards, although they're great for that too. You could just be comparing it to your Steam friends. It does let you filter out the leaderboard results so that all you see is you and your Steam friends, and you can see how you compare with the rest of them. You can also just see everyone globally, or you could completely ignore all of that and only look at your own score and try to beat your previous best. You know, it's all up to you, however competitive you want to be with that, how much you want to do. But I'll just say that it's very satisfying feeling yourself get better at the game. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this weapon and this pickaxe just to show you how that works. The pickaxe allows me to dig harder blocks. Like, I could already dig these dirt with the basic shovel, right? But the pickaxe lets me swing twice and break these rock blocks too. Or even swing 3 times and break the crypt walls. So the pickaxe is pretty nice. Also, in addition to having score runs and speed runs and everything, they've got daily challenges, like, say, Spelunky. You've got a run that generates, it picks a certain seed, it generates a certain map every single day, every 24 hours, and that map is the same for everyone when you go into the daily challenge. I'll go ahead and just, no, I shouldn't quit this run just to show that to you, because I don't want to do the daily challenge in like a review video, I guess. But basically, you just start a run like any other, but you go down the daily challenge staircase instead of the hardcore mode staircase. And then all of a sudden, you're competing on the same seed as everyone else in the world for that day. Oh god, I might die here. Yeah, I'm dead. You're competing on the same seed as everyone else, so you've all got that equal chance, right? You've all got the same weapons being given to you, the same floor layouts. There's no randomness to it. You can't say, oh, well, you just got luckier than me. You can see how you hold up. You can see how your score holds up against everyone else's when they've all got the same seed as you. And that's definitely a cool thing to have going. Also, the weapons are all pretty unique. Like, the spear is very close to the basic dagger, so that's not a great unique example. But, okay, this might be a weapon in this black chest here, actually. No, that's gonna be armor. Okay. Well, the weapons, they've all got their own, like, unique moveset to them that sets them apart. Like the spear, it just means that you can attack one tile further away than with the dagger. Like, if there's a tile between me and the enemy, I can still reach over and stab them. This dagger, the spear also, the dagger and the spear, you can throw at an enemy, which is a super nice thing to have going for you. Okay, these guys just appear out of nowhere. They are assholes, and you don't want to deal with them, but you're gonna have to. Let's see, what else should I mention? The game actually has 4-button control. Like, literally the only controls for this game that you need are the arrow keys. And this is gonna blow your mind, it's dance pad compatible. Yeah, you can break out the old DDR mat and dungeon crawl with that thing. You can dance your way through this dungeon, and that is just the coolest shit ever. If you don't think that's amazing, then just get out of my face. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear that. That is the coolest thing ever. Yeah, you can see there aren't a ton of different enemies that you see at the moment. We're mostly running into, like, slimes and bats and skeletons. That's because each zone introduces its own new sets of enemies. and you're gonna have to watch out for those. I'll go ahead and try to get to the next zone so you can see a little bit of that. I'm not gonna go through every zone in this video though, because I want to leave a little bit for you to find for yourself, you know? A little bit of stuff for you to discover. But yeah, overall the game is extremely well balanced. These enemies are all, you might have already noticed, they're really predictable. Like the slimes are just pathetically predictable. They just move in their own little thing. Like this blue slime just moves up and down, up and down. You don't really have to worry about them. The different colors of slimes all have their own little pattern to move in. Skeletons have their own patterns. Everything's got a pattern to it. It's got really predictable AI. So if you know what you're doing, if you are well practiced with this game, okay, I'm gonna YOLO it up and take this glass flail. Glass is extremely high damage. It's really high tier gear, but it shatters the instant you get hit. If you let one enemy smack you, that glass gear is gone. So it's high risk, high reward kind of thing. Yeah, it's really one of the most well-balanced games I've ever played. Like, you never get that death where it was just because RNG screwed you over and there was nothing you could do about it. It's your fault when you die, and that's great. I love it being my fault when I die. Every death is avoidable, and there's even an instant replay when you die, so you can stand there and watch yourself being killed over and over again until you say, oh, that's what I did wrong. You know, you can learn from your mistake. You can see how you could have played it out differently, how you could have done better. You can see why it's your fault, how you can save yourself. Another piece of glass equipment. This is making me nervous. I can't take a hit. Oh, yeah, I don't have a weapon now. My weapon has turned into this little glass shard, which is basically the dagger that I started with. That's how it behaves. It's trash, basically. It's horrible. Oh, you can throw the glass shard. I didn't notice that. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, it's functionally the same as the dagger, but I just never thought about that. Okay, now this monkey's got me. And believe me, this is all my fault. I'm not doing a great job right now. The enemies are all super predictable, though. And it's really satisfying learning all their different patterns and everything. It feels good. Like, you start out the game, and you're just running into shit. You don't know what the hell is going on. Everything is just murdering you. But eventually, you know how everything's gonna move. You understand how it works. And you can get to a point where you just kind of dance around everything. Every time it's about to swing at you, you just sidestep or knock it back or whatever. And it just... Eventually, with enough practice, you can become pretty much untouchable. In a good way. Like, that sounds like the game's easy. No, it takes focus and practice and a lot of work. But I think it's good that once you're well practiced in a game, you can just kind of destroy it. Like, that's a good thing, in my opinion. I don't think that the best player in the world should still have to worry about getting screwed over just because of bad luck or something, right? Like you say, a really popular game that a lot of people might draw parallels to. I don't really agree with drawing parallels to this game. I think it's overused, but I'm going to go ahead and contribute to that and overuse it myself. Binding of Isaac. Lots of people know Binding of Isaac, so it's just an easy thing to relate to, I guess, when you want to make a comparison. In the Binding of Isaac, if you don't get the damage upgrades or tears upgrades or whatever, if you don't get the DPS you need or whatever, it can just be not fun, or your run can be kind of fucked. You can get an enemy that hits you with unavoidable damage or whatever. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in this game, and the game is actually balanced in such a way that you can complete it with this shitty glass shard. Like, I could just not pick up another weapon, and it is totally viable, it's totally feasible that I could just go through the whole run like this. I could just not even pick up a weapon. There's even a character that can't pick up weapons, and she just goes through with the basic dagger the whole way, and it's completely doable. I've done it multiple times now, and it's like, that's just the best thing ever. I love that it's not at all luck dependent for you to get through the run. You can make it under your own steam. The luck, the finding good items, that's just like, it makes up for your own incompetence. Having good luck in this game, it's not a prerequisite, it's just good luck, you know? It's just something that's helpful to have, but not necessary. So that is something that I appreciate in a huge way. There are lots of little secret tips and tricks and things to find too. little things that you might not necessarily know about, like... You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and spoil one for you, just to give you an example. Avert your eyes if you don't want it to happen. You know what? I'll spoil two. You can blow up that tempo trap there. Oh god, I fucked up. If you mess up the beat in here, King Konga gets very angry with you. But what you saw there a second ago was that I stepped on a tempo trap on the floor, which speeds up the music, and then I blew it up. Normally the button pops up after a moment, and it'll go back to the normal tempo. But since I blew it up, it's just going to stay at that tempo forever. Which is a really interesting technique if you're trying to go faster for a speedrun or something. You can also bomb that throne that King Kong is standing on and just kind of skip fighting all the zombies and things. Generally, he doesn't come down and fight you until after you've killed all the zombies, but bombing the throne can work out. So there's a little secret trick for you. I'm going to skip the story cutscene. I don't think that's a good thing for me to have in here. But yeah, you can go ahead and see there's this new area. Now the skeletons have shields that you've got to work around. Hitting them from the front isn't going to hurt them. There are secret rooms off to the side here. There's lots of cool stuff going on. And just, the skill ceiling is incredibly high also. Like, there are so many little mechanics to discover. I was watching a stream the other day where someone was playing and they used a trick that I came up with, like, months ago. And the developer, the guy who made the game, was watching. He said, "Oh my god, I've never seen that. That was awesome." And it's like, there's just so much to discover that the guy who made the game, who sits around and watches people playing it all the time and organizes events for people to play it, there are still little techniques and tricks and things that you can pick up on that he doesn't even know about because it's just that intricate, the emergent gameplay from it all. And there are all these different weapons. I'm going to go ahead and show you the blood rapier. Blood weapons are really cool. They work a bit like that crown I had earlier, in that they heal you every so many kills, but they've also got a special little trick to them, where if you're at half a heart, you do 999 fucking damage. And honestly, in this game, just 3 damage is pretty fantastic. I almost died there. That would have been bad. But yeah, there are all these little traps on the floor. There are shrines, like this one. This is going to get me killed. That turns all your gear into glass, which, as I said earlier, is extremely high-level equipment, but as soon as I get hit, it's all gone. So that's kind of terrifying. But yeah, I hope I've given you a good idea of how this game works. Look at that, just one-shotting that big motherfucker with this glass rapier. I love it. I hope I've given you a good idea of how this game works, how everything goes down. Just a quick summary, just a little recap here, I guess. You got random weapons, random dungeons, random bosses, random everything generated for you every time. There are leaderboards that you can compete with your friends on, or just use for self-betterment to track your own progress and silently gloat. I'm doing so much better. Oh god, that's a scary thing to pick up. I'm at half a heart. There are all kinds of cool things going on. And it's worth picking up, basically. It's really, really worth picking up this game. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I've played, like, over 500 hours of this now. There's a little thing hidden in the wall in there. You know what? Let's just not even go in there. I don't want to touch that place. But, it's really fucking cool. There's just so much to learn, so much going on. This little clone mimicking my movements freaks me out every time. And I'm probably gonna die momentarily, actually. Maybe not. Maybe we'll make it. I'll keep going until I lose this half heart, I guess. That was really close to me losing it. And this glass armor... Oh god, never mind. I don't have glass armor, so I just... So much for that. It did completely negate that hit, though, is what I was gonna say. It'll negate a hit, but shatters, so it's only good once. There's another one of those ridiculous pun names for a boss. Oh, I don't know how well I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna go for the face. Gouge the eyes! That's how you don't fight. Okay. You might have noticed there, the drums actually stopped playing in the background, which is the coolest shit ever. That's so cool that the instruments actually disappear from the song as you kill them off. as you destroy the tentacles holding those. And now they're all back. You hear him come back in full force. And we killed that motherfucker. I am going to stop right here, though. I don't want to go to the next zone. Also, if you get a flawless victory, you get all these little swag chests up here. But I'm going to stop at this point. I don't want to spoil the entire game for you. So we're going to not proceed to the next zone. I hope you enjoyed watching me play. I hope you enjoyed just learning about the game. I hope you saw something new. I really love this game, and I would really love for you to love this game. So if this looks interesting to you, if you like the idea of a turn-based game where you've just got to keep moving, where you've got to think quickly and just work it all out on the fly, I would highly recommend it. And also, I don't know if I made this game look easy. I don't think I did, because I played pretty sloppily while trying to explain everything. But if I made the game look easy to you, it's not an easy game. It usually takes people a good while to clear the game just with this default character, and then there are other characters that make it much more difficult. There are lots of little achievements and challenges. There's just a ton to do. There's all kinds of stuff to do in this game, and I would love it if you checked it out. I'm gonna quit rambling, though. I think I've said pretty much everything that I have to say, and I've said it like 5 or 6 times now. I just keep saying the same things over and over again. So I'm gonna gracefully bow out here, bomb myself to death. All that glass gear. Look at all those shards there. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you want to check the video description, I should have lots of interesting links for you to check out with stuff like where you can get the soundtracks. Honestly, I would say this game is worth buying just for the soundtrack if you get the soundtrack DLC. But yeah, that's Crypt of the Necrodancer. If you can get it on Steam. I think that's the only place you can get it. I may be wrong, but pretty sure it's only on Steam. And I think you should. I think you should get it if this looks at all appealing to you in any way, because it gets so much better the more you play it, the more you discover, the more you learn and get better at it as a player. So just check this game out. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Have a nice day, everyone.